Welcome to World Epic History. Today, we step into the shadows of a city that once ruled Empire's Constantinople. Beneath its grand churches and towering walls, a hidden world waited. Underground tunnels carved in secrecy, passages that whispered of emperors, spies, and forgotten treasures. These were not mere legends, but living veins of the city, carrying secrets locked away for centuries. Join us as we uncover the hidden mysteries of Constantinople, its underground tunnels and lost treasures, where history still waits in the dark. Welcome to a journey into the shadows of Constantinople, the city once called the crossroads of the world. Beyond its golden domes and towering walls lay a labyrinth of hidden passageways carved into the earth. These Byzantine tunnels, long forgotten by time, whispered stories of emperors, soldiers, and secret treasures concealed beneath the ancient capital. Constantinople's secrets lived not only in its palaces, but also under its very foundations. This city of the Byzantines guarded mysteries few dared to explore, and tonight we step into the dim corridors where history and myth intertwined. The underground realm was more than stone. It was a silent witness to sieges, intrigues, and desperate escapes, all concealed from the eyes above. Our search for hidden treasures of Constantinople begins here, in the world below. The Byzantines understood that Constantinople's survival depended not only on walls and armies, but also on what lay beneath the surface. The underground tunnels formed a hidden network that supplied fresh water, food storage, and even escape routes during sieges. While invaders battered the gates, life continued below, sustained by cisterns so vast they resembled underground cathedrals. The most famous was the Basilica Cistern, a forest of marble columns rising from the depths, its waters once quenching the thirst of emperors. But other, less-known passages extended like veins through the heart of the city. These tunnels, dark and silent, held the power to decide whether the empire lived or perished. Constantinople's secrets were not only treasures of gold, but lifelines of stone and water, carved to preserve survival itself. Legends spoke of tunnels running beneath the hippodrome, where emperors once thrilled crowds with races and games. Yet in times of crisis, these same underground corridors became escape routes, carrying rulers away from rebellion or invasion. Chroniclers hinted that entire storerooms of Byzantine treasures were lowered into the depths when enemies drew near, hidden until the danger passed. Some whispered of reliquaries, sacred relics of saints secreted away in chambers that no map recorded. The Constantinople secrets were not written in chronicles, but buried beneath stone, waiting for discovery. Though centuries have passed, the silence of those tunnels still echoed with urgency, as if the footsteps of the desperate remained imprinted on the earth. What began as practical defense became the stuff of legend, entwining survival with myth. The city's churches and palaces were often connected by hidden passages, ensuring that emperors could move unseen through Constantinople. These tunnels symbolized both security and suspicion. In times of intrigue, assassins might lurk in the dark, while spies moved silently beneath the streets. The Byzantine tunnels were like veins of power, carrying secrets as vital as blood. Some routes ran directly beneath the Great Palace, where Byzantine emperors plotted wars and celebrated victories. Others extended toward the harbor, offering sudden escape to the sea if the city fell. Hidden treasures of Constantinople may have traveled these same routes, chests of jewels, manuscripts of wisdom, even the fabled relics of the true cross. Few who descended returned unchanged, for the silence pressed heavy, and every step carried the weight of history. During the Crusades, whispers spread that Constantinople's underground vaults held unimaginable wealth. Knights and adventurers dreamed of descending into Byzantine tunnels to uncover treasures hidden from the world. When the Fourth Crusade sacked the city in 1204, many treasures were looted, yet some remained concealed deep below. Chronicles told of chests of gold and silver lowered into sealed cisterns, guarded by stone and secrecy. Some believed entire chambers collapsed intentionally, sealing the wealth of emperors beyond reach. Hidden treasures of Constantinople became more than a legend. They were a promise of lost riches that lured seekers for centuries. For every relic looted, another seemed to vanish into the dark. The deeper one searched, the more the city seemed to defend its secrets, wrapping them tighter in stone. Not all secrets of Constantinople were of gold or relics. Some were stories carved into the stones themselves. In darkened cisterns, columns bore strange carvings, serpents, gods of old, and forgotten symbols from empires before Byzantium. The most haunting were the Medusa heads placed beneath massive pillars, their gaze turned sideways, as if cursed to hold the weight of the empire forever. These images were relics of pagan worlds that the Byzantines had conquered and repurposed, hiding their power beneath Christian glory. Yet, their presence in the tunnels whispered that the city never truly shed its ancient past. Constantinople's secrets were layered like its stones, one civilization buried upon another, until myth and history could no longer be separated. The tunnels preserved not only treasure, but also memory, etched in silence and shadow. As centuries passed, earthquakes shook Constantinople, and fire scarred its districts. Yet below ground, the tunnels endured. Their thick walls of brick and stone outlasted disasters, serving as hidden archives of survival. During the Ottoman conquest of 1453, some Byzantine defenders were rumored to vanish into the subterranean labyrinth, carrying relics and treasures with them. Stories persisted of secret doors within Hagia Sophia, leading to chambers never reopened. While Mehmed the Conqueror claimed the city above, the ground below may have still hidden the last whispers of Byzantium. Constantinople's secrets were never entirely erased by conquest. Instead, they sank deeper into the earth. Today, many believe those lost passages remain sealed, their echoes of empire undisturbed for centuries, waiting to resurface. The Ottomans themselves added to this underground legacy. Sultans expanded water systems, reinforced tunnels, and built new cisterns to sustain their imperial capital. Yet many Byzantine passages were simply sealed and forgotten, leaving historians to wonder what treasures or secrets lay untouched. Some Ottoman chroniclers hinted at finding relics during excavations, ancient icons, gold coins, or manuscripts carried from the Byzantine age. These were quickly absorbed into the wealth of the new empire. Still, rumors persisted that not all discoveries were revealed, that some chambers were left undisturbed, too dangerous or sacred to open. Constantinople's secrets became not only Byzantine, but Ottoman as well, layers of history entwined beneath one city. Each stone corridor carried the weight of two empires, whispering in silence where once power had roared. In the centuries that followed, explorers and archaeologists began to map the surface of Istanbul, yet the ground below remained elusive. Urban legends thrived. Tunnels connecting Hagia Sophia to the palace, secret ways to the Bosporus, even chambers holding relics of Alexander the Great. Treasure hunters chased Constantinople secrets, digging beneath streets and homes, often meeting only collapsed stone or empty voids. Still, each failed attempt added to the myth. The Byzantine tunnels became less of a map and more of an enigma, a puzzle the city itself refused to yield. The thought that treasures remained sealed within stone stirred fascination across generations. In Istanbul, every uneven street or broken foundation whispered of a hidden world just beyond reach. Some of the most fascinating accounts came from ordinary residents. Shopkeepers in the old city claimed to stumble upon bricked archways while renovating their basements. Children whispered of cool drafts seeping from cracks in the ground, as if the city itself exhaled from its hidden lungs. These glimpses into Constantinople's secrets reminded people that the past was never far away. For every known cistern or mapped tunnel, dozens more remained uncharted, waiting beneath modern streets. Hidden treasures of Constantinople might not always be gold or relics, but fragments of forgotten architecture, tiles, mosaics, or columns lying in the dark. In this city, history did not belong to museums alone. It rose through the earth itself, haunting those who dared to look below. By the 19th century, Western travelers arrived in droves, drawn by the allure of the East and the mystery of its ruins. Writers described Istanbul as a city with two lives, one above in the sunlight, and one hidden in eternal shadow. They recounted stories of Byzantine tunnels stretching beneath the Golden Horn, linking monasteries and fortresses. Though much of it was speculation, these tales fed the Western imagination. Constantinople's secrets became part of exotic travelogues, where hidden treasures Constantinople were painted as just out of reach, waiting to be claimed. The underground city turned into both a romantic symbol and a historical obsession, blending fact and fiction into a narrative that refused to die. In modern times, archaeologists confirmed that fragments of the underground world still survived. Excavations near Hagia Sophia uncovered sealed chambers and hidden conduits once thought lost. Yet many tunnels remained dangerous, flooded, or collapsed, discouraging deeper exploration. The mystery only deepened. Was there truly a network connecting the palace, the hippodrome, and the harbor? Or were these fragments merely isolated remnants? Scholars debated, but the silence of the earth refused to answer. Hidden treasures of Constantinople may still slumber beyond reach, shielded by stone and secrecy. The allure lay not only in discovery, but in the possibility that somewhere beneath the modern bustle of Istanbul, the untouched vaults of Byzantium still waited, their secrets intact. Among the most haunting stories was that of the imperial treasury. Byzantine records hinted that in the empire's final days, priests and officials gathered relics and jewels, lowering them into underground cisterns. When Mem's soldiers stormed the palaces, those vaults were never found. Were they looted in secret, or do they still rest beneath layers of stone? The idea of treasure untouched since 1453 fired imaginations for centuries. Even today, some treasure hunters believe that Constantinople's secrets remain beneath Hagia Sophia, encased in chambers sealed by desperate hands. Whether truth or myth, the story endures because it embodies the city itself, eternal, mysterious, and layered with echoes of loss and hope. The tunnels also preserved the mundane, along with the sacred. Archaeologists discovered broken amphorae, oil lamps, and tools abandoned centuries ago. These remnants told quieter stories of workers hauling water, guards patrolling in darkness, and children playing near entrances before they were sealed. Constantinople's secrets were not always of emperors and treasures. They were also of ordinary lives hidden in shadow. Each shard of pottery was a voice from the past, a reminder that history's greatest city was also home to countless unnamed souls. The underground labyrinth captured both the grandeur and the humanity of Byzantium, echoing the footsteps of rich and poor alike. In this duality lay the true treasure, a glimpse of life beneath the empire's stone skin. Over time, Istanbul's rapid growth buried many entrances forever. Streets were paved, houses rose, and ancient openings were bricked shut. Still, hints of the underground world persisted in sagging pavements, hollow echoes beneath courtyards, or strange drafts of cool air in the summer heat. Modern engineers, while building metro lines or sewers, occasionally stumbled into forgotten chambers, forcing history to resurface. Each rediscovery renewed fascination with Constantinople's secrets, as if the city itself resisted being silenced. The Byzantine tunnels reminded Istanbul's people that beneath every modern foundation lay another world, one still pulsing with mystery. No matter how high the skyline climbed, the earth beneath remained loyal to its hidden past. Even today, sections of the underground remain sealed off to the public. Authorities worry about collapse, flooding, or disrupting sacred foundations. But their inaccessibility only fuels speculation. What lies behind those bricked arches? What treasures Constantinople still guards in silence? Scholars speak cautiously, but dreamers imagine lost libraries, sealed relics, or secret passageways untouched for 1,000 years. The Byzantine tunnels have become symbols of the city's endurance, hidden arteries of history running beneath modern life. They remind us that Constantinople's secrets endure not because they are fully known, but because they remain just beyond our grasp, drawing us deeper into their shadows. The tunnels of Constantinople were not merely architecture, but living witnesses to the empire's triumphs and tragedies. When the city celebrated victories, treasures may have been hidden in vaults of marble and stone. When it faced despair, those same tunnels offered refuge to the desperate. The Byzantine tunnels were both a shield and a grave, a paradox that defined the empire itself. For every story of gold and jewels, there were whispers of bones entombed in darkness. Constantinople's secrets endured because they held both the glory and the suffering of 1,000 years. In their silence, one could almost hear the clash of armies, the chanting of priests, and the quiet prayers of those who vanished underground forever. For centuries, the search for hidden treasures of Constantinople inspired explorers, dreamers, and even empires. Yet perhaps the greatest treasure was not gold, but the endurance of memory itself. These tunnels reminded us that beneath every triumph lay struggle, and beneath every palace lay fear. The Byzantine tunnels symbolized the fragility of human achievement and the resilience of a city that refused to die. Istanbul rose upon their bones, yet their presence lingered, invisible but undeniable. Constantinople's secrets were carved not just into stone, but into imagination, carrying the city's legend far beyond its walls. Today, as visitors walk the streets of Istanbul, few realize the depth beneath their feet. Beneath the cafes, markets, and mosques lies a second city silent, unseen, but alive with history. Some tunnels are open to tourists, their echoing chambers breathtaking and eerie. Others remain sealed, untouched, reminders that the earth still holds stories untold. Hidden treasures of Constantinople may never all be found, but their mystery is part of their power. It is the unanswered questions that keep the city eternal, forever balancing between history and myth, between the known and the unknowable. Thus ends our journey into the hidden depths of Constantinople. The Byzantine tunnels and lost treasures remain both real and legendary, a shadow city beneath the shining empire. These Constantinople secrets remind us that history is never only on the surface. It lies beneath in silence, waiting for those who dare to seek it. Whether treasure hunters, scholars, or curious travelers, each who walks these corridors touches the breath of an empire long gone. The tunnels still whisper, their voices carried by stone and water, urging us to remember. Constantinople may have fallen, but in its underground heart, it endures forever.